This is the seal that came out. It would have been a leather lip seal, a metal casing, and if the tractor was sitting up for a while without being used, it would have went dry and then cracked, and it would have let oil through it. So just going to clean it out in there a little bit more and give the whole casing a good cleaning down, and I'll move over to the other parts then and give them a clean up. The pin that goes through the lever and into there is a split pin, and it's you can widen it. So what I've noticed is it's a bit loose in there, so I'm going to widen that and just do a test fit now onto there. Try and get it a bit snugger. I was thinking of getting rid of it and putting in a nut and bolt, but no, this will be nice and clean looking when it's neater looking when that's just that gap there is widened a bit. As soon as I tried to widen the gap in the split pin, it literally disintegrated completely. So that is for the bin, unfortunately. What I've picked out is an original Ferguson nut and bolt, and that goes through perfect in there, and it takes up all the free play in the lever, because it is a long lever, so whatever's going through there is going to be under a bit of pressure to get gears in and out. So that's a bit better of a job. It'll take the pressure a bit more, it'll take the free play out. There's an awful lot of free play. This was flexing anyway, like, so it was always allowing a lot of slop there. So yeah, that's for the bin. So I've put it back together just to make sure that that pin behind the spring is working okay, that it's able to select neutral and engine PTO and ground PTO. There was also a little truss washer behind it there, so I put that back on. So I have everything just on loose there at the moment with the nut and bolt. So that's ready for its seal, so I'll record that when I'm putting in the seal. I'm after putting this exhaust manifold down on 2 sheets of sandpaper and basically running it over and back and around in figures of 8 and everything, basically planing it. And I have another exhaust manifold in there as well, and the very end exhaust ports there on this and on the other manifold are a lot more corroded. So I'm going to take a little bit more off that and try and get it a bit flatter. The gasket's very thick, it will work, it will seal, but I still, since I have to wait a few days for parts, I wouldn't mind just getting a bit of this out. That's corrosion. So another few minutes done, and it's the same story. The exhaust port on each end, just that little bit more corroded. Well, the others are shining up lovely. So I'm going to keep going on that every now and again till I get that perfectly flat. It's not taking too long, so it's worth doing. And then I'll do the other one in the vice, then the underslung exhaust manifold. This is another pipe from the manifold to the rocker cover, and it's designed to allow the oily vapours to be brought from the rocker cover back through this pipe and into the air intake and to be burnt. Now this pipe that's already on the tractor was completely blocked, and I had to poke wires down from both ends and hit them with the air gun and soak in WD-40, so this is worse. But the reason why I want to use this pipe is it has a nice sealing copper flare on the end of it, and the one that was on the tractor is actually flat. So what was happening was it wasn't sealing and it was allowing air in around, and that does affect the running of the engine. So I'm just after boiling my kettle and I'm trying to slowly feed hot water down into it. I can see the odd bubble coming up, and then I'm giving it a hit of the air gun. So hopefully I can get this clear, because I'd like to use it now compared to the other pipe. I did try and flare the other pipe down here, but it's just so thin, it's not going to hold. So this is the pipe, and it goes in there and it goes up towards the rocker cover. So what I've done with this is I've flared it as best I can. It's a bit messy looking, but it was completely straight when I took it off, and I noticed it was staying loose. So it'll just seal that a little bit better. It does need to be standing a bit more proud of the nut to seal fully, but I might just keep flaring it a bit more. I don't want to tear it, that's the only thing. The other one is really putting up a fight now. I've pushed wires down it, and I have WD-40 air gun at 100 psi sitting in boiling hot water, so I don't know, but I'll try and do it again with the air gun sitting there in hot water. So I'll give it another go with the gun first anyway, because there's a nice, the end on this is nice and flat, and when that tightens up against it, then it actually makes a seal.